fellow mutants, welcome to another video, and today we're going to talk about how Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, is going to be continuing as part of the MCU. And, am I surprised? Kinda and kind of no. I mean, there was still time for Spider-Man to be negotiated back in the MCU for Phase 4, because I, I think they didn't really have any plans for Spider-Man in Phase 3 by the time this whole news about Sony and Marvel having their feud and Sony taking Spider-Man out of the MCU happened. But now that Sony and Disney slash Marvel decided to say, hey, yeah, guys, we agreed on having Spider-Man something, home something. I'm guessing it's going to have the word home in it because the first Tom Holland Spider-Man, Homecoming, the second Spider-Man movie, Far Away From Home, both had home in it, so I don't know. Maybe Spider-Man 3 can be Spider-Man 3 Return, not at my home, or not at my house, I don't know. Anyways, I am excited. I'm happy. It makes sense, and it will make both Sony and Marvel a lot of money. What was the deal? I don't know. Hopefully that will come out soon. I just heard about it like literally 20-ish minutes ago. So I think this news hit, I believe, 20-ish minutes ago. And that nerd in me is saying, "Oh yeah, my favorite Marvel hero is in the MCU again." Which it is, and I've also heard, which I didn't cover but I was meaning to. But now that video will be useless now with this news about how when Spider-Man, it was before Spider-Man was announced that he was going to be back in the MCU for Spider-Man Homecoming 3. Or whatever, for Spider-Man 3 in this, for Tom Holland, that Marvel was losing faith in like Captain Marvel because they were hoping to have it where Captain Marvel and Spider-Man would team up either in like Spider-Man 3 or Captain Marvel 2, where they were hoping to have Spider-Man slash Peter Parker humanize and make her Captain Marvel seem better than she is. And like I said, Spider-Man was only going to be like the item or whatever they were going to use to do that with. And without Spider-Man, they were scared. So now that Spider-Man is back into the MCU, I wonder if that was one of the things that Marvel had to do to like. I wonder if one of the things they had to agree on, Marvel had to agree on with Sony, is that yeah, you can't dumb down Peter Parker to make Captain Marvel feel good about herself, to make you guys feel better about Captain Marvel. Which, if that's the case, and if Captain Marvel is in theaters, and if I go see it, and if they make Peter smarter than Captain Marvel, I will literally blur out laughing. And here's why. Brie Larson is one of those human beings that if she came across me in real life, I would not want to exactly be friends with her, because she does come across as extremely arrogant and know-it-all. And especially with her, I'm going to be the first female-led superhero in the MCU, even though in Iron Man 2, Black Widow made her introduction, and in the first Avengers, Black Widow was literally the only female Avenger within the original 6 Avengers movie. Like, but I'm going to break box office. Was the only, I'm going to make history. Was the only history she really did was, wait, be the first female in the MCU to have her own movie, but she wasn't the first MCU superhero per se. She was like what, the sixth? Because there's Black Widow, there's the Sith, who is this a Thor character. There's can kind of say that they kind of teased this with uh in Iron Man 3 with Pepper Potts being the Iron Man suit. So for argument's sake, I'm going to say Pepper Potts. And then Scarlet Witch as well. And uh, even though she's not exactly part of the Avengers per se, the love interest to Black Panther, which technically did come out before Captain Marvel did. So that's at least 5. And then I'm trying to think of others. Uh, I can't really think of any other female. To make 6, I'm gonna I'm gonna make Maria Hill, even though she's more of a shield agent than an Avenger. For hell's sake, plus she was in the final battle for Avengers Endgame, so Maria Hill. And if I'm gonna use that argument, Black Panther's sister. I don't know why I did that, but oh. So that's like 7 heroes that are female led, that were females that was introduced into the whole MCU. But so Brie Larson can't say, "Oh, I'm the first female superhero in the MCU," because there's at least 7 uh, that I just mentioned. But going back to the subject, Spider-Man. He is my favorite Marvel hero. When I've heard the whole Marvel Sony dispute and when Spider-Man was leaving, I was sad. I mean, I did make a video of it saying, okay, so Spider-Man's going to have like 5 films. 3 of those films, like, are being part of the MCU before they have to renew their contract. 3 of those films are going to be in the MCU, which is Captain America, uh, Civil War, which is more of like an Avengers movie, in my opinion, than a Captain America movie. And then not Age of Ultron, no, Infinity War and Endgame. And then he was also in his 2 standalone Spider-Man movies that were connected to the MCU, which was Homecoming and Far Away from Home. And so yeah, so I was sad when I heard this dispute come along, but when I heard this like about 20 minutes ago, as by the time as I am recording this, it was like 20 minutes ago for me when I heard this. I was so excited. I said, I gotta stop playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 and start making a video. Because this is good news. I mean, there's part of me that's surprised, but there's part of me that's not surprised. And the part of me that's not surprised because when this news broke, when Spider-Man wasn't going to be in the part of the MCU anymore, there were a lot of backlash. Like, some fans were siding with Marvel, some fans were siding with Sony. I was trying to stay neutral in all of this. And there was, regardless of which side you take, there was a big backlash that Spider-Man wouldn't be in the MCU anymore. So, as surprised as I was for hearing that Spider-Man is going to be back in the MCU, and I don't know for how many movies, but we know at least July 2021 is going to be Spider-Man 3, that I'm not really surprised with the amount of backlash. I mean, that it's gotten. I mean, eventually the backlash will be so much for Star Wars that Lucasfilms will have no other choice but to listen to us fans about their current direction with Star Wars. Because Lucasfilms hasn't really done that all too much so far, which is part of the reason why Solo: A Star Wars Story failed. And yeah, because because it legitimately wasn't Star Wars fatigue in that scenario. So, so I wonder who's gonna be like the Marvel owned Marvel characters that's gonna be in Spider-Man 3. Is it gonna be like what Captain Marvel? Is it gonna be what uh Witcher Soldier? I'm kind of half expecting Happy to be in there again because he was in the first two Spider-Man movies, and I really loved how they put what they did with Happy in Far Away from Home. Far From Home, I mean. So I'm kind of half expecting Happy to be in Spider-Man 3, but I potentially Nick Fury, but I don't know who like. I would love to see like the Starks in uh Spider-Man 3, like Pepper Potts, because now she was technically married to uh Tony Stark, and or her daughter, Morgan Stark, who which then they could essentially be teasing her to be the new Iron Man, but not take the name Iron Man, but take the name Ironheart, which I think that's what the name for her when she takes up the Iron Man mantle per se. Which, if that's the case, then we can easily see like an Ironheart and Spider-Man movie, or an Ironheart movie where this time around Spider-Man gets to be the mentor for the daughter of a person that mentored him in Homecoming and part of uh, Captain America Civil War and Endgame. And Infinity War. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm surprised and not surprised at the same time that Spider-Man is back in the MCU. But long story short, I am pretty excited. See, uh, seeing the MCU with Spider-Man again. So, so here's gonna be begging the question: is Spider-Man gonna be the new face of the MCU now? I don't know. But there's also another thing that since I know Sony was trying to make their own Spider Verse, and since now Spider Man is still part of the MCU, are they gonna have the Tom Holland Spider Man partaking like two universes at the same time? Like still have him be connected to the MCU, but at the same time have him be connected to like his own Spider Verse and have Venom be a part of the MCU. I mean, because they can still have Venom in the new, and like tease in the next Spider-Man movie. I mean, because technically Venom is a Spider-Man villain. So even if it's not Venom, they could just tease Eddie Brock. It could they could have Eddie Brock, Tom Hardy guest stars Eddie Brock. That and that way it can potentially open doors. Hypothetically, if we're ever in this situation again where like we won't get a Spider-Man 4 in the MCU, we already had a door kind of like cracked open with Spider-Man 3, with having Tom Hardy being in Far From Home. Meaning in Spider-Man 3. Ideas, Marvel ideas, but yeah, I'm excited, especially since we're gonna get a new Spider-Man movie in 2 years. So I'm actually looking forward to Phase 5 more than Phase 4, because Phase 4 is mostly shows that I probably won't be able to get to watch because it's on Disney Plus, and I already have Netflix, and I don't want to have to pay for two uh, streaming platforms at the same time. And truthfully, the main reason why I would buy Disney Plus is to see Star Wars Mandalorians and Season 7 of the Clone Wars. And potentially Obi-Wan Kenobi. which potentially all will go on to DVD. And before you guys fight me on that one, Stranger Things is on DVD as well. I think it's like the first two seasons at the very least. I don't know about the third one. But the first two seasons of Stranger Things, which is a Netflix original, is on DVD as well. So, fact check me if you don't believe me. The third one already came out, but still. So, yeah, I'm more excited for Phase 5 than with Phase 4, because Phase 5, it seems like it's going to, no offense to Marvel or Disney, but Phase 5 seems to be more important than Phase 4. Because Phase 4 just really shows, Phase 5 is the movies. So, that's my 2 cents on it. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited for this whole Spider-Man being in the MCU? Are you guys like that Sony and Marvel kissed and made up, as the saying goes? Leave a comment below, and I'll see you mutants soon. Have a nice day.